The third scenario I call the early church. So if you look at church history, we have in the first 300 years, the early church was a struggling religious grouping in a larger Roman Empire. And then around the beginning of the 4th century, the Roman emperor converted to Christianity. And so we have this Constantinian era, which has flowed through from the 4th century through until quite recently. Now, that's most churches think in that Constantinian era mindset, whereas in fact, if we were to go back to the early church, the early church model saw itself as a missionary church in a hostile, wider environment, seeking to win souls for Christ. And so in this third scenario, I foreshadow the way that you get some Christians who say, look, we're sick and tired of all the government regulations over social welfare. Let them go their own separate way. We will concentrate on saving souls. So we will concentrate on evangelism. We will devise our own home churches. So it's almost the form of the emerging church, cafe church, all these sorts of things that we already are experimenting with in the uniting church. And so what we would have, therefore, would be a small group of people using some of the assets of the uniting church, but focusing much more on evangelism and what people would see as the original purpose of the Christian church before it gets so heavily involved in receiving government money to provide social welfare.